Our planet and humanity is at a monumental and a very pivotal point on the planet for everything to shift and change, including the whole evolution of humanity. Our bodies are going to change. As the Earth changes and the plates shift and the poles shift energetically, that's intense on the human body. And not only humans, but all animals and creatures are going to evolve. Our DNA is going to shift and change, and numbers can and astrology both can really help to point to specific timelines and, of course, to very big events that are going to take place. This is in the prophecies from Nostradamus to Edgar Casey and even in the book of Revelation. These are the times that we are currently in. And it may seem fearful to many, but we always have to hold in the light what the outcome is going to be in the end. Hello, everybody. My name is Joseph Tittel, aka Spirit Man JT, living in United States in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. I'm a spiritual medium and have been seeing things ever since I was a little boy, having visions of things that would happen in the very distant future, and also having the ability to first see a grandmother that passed away before I was born. Didn't know who she was, but I did know who she was, and it was quite a phenomenal experience, but at the same time challenging because at that time nobody acknowledged it and it was always blown off or written off. So over time I blocked out those abilities until one day they all just came flowing back in. And I began connecting with people's deceased loved ones and connecting thousands and thousands of people with their deceased loved ones, predicting future events, and helping guide people in their personal lives through personal readings, and worked with the law enforcement on solving cases and cold cases, and appeared on many different television segments, including America's Psychic Challenge and just a whole list of amazing opportunities that I was able to do throughout doing this work for over 3 decades. It's been amazing. 2020 is everything that happened in 2020 is exactly like 2020 vision. It happened in order to awaken people to a whole new level. And that awakening was identifying the corruption, the control, and the evil that has built our current structures. Those current structures are those that need to collapse so that good and the positive can come in and rebuild these structures. Yes, it's in all the prophecies that there's going to be other epidemics and pandemics related to disease and outbreaks and so many others. And it's not something that we should fear. It's something that we need to be more aware of, because at the same time, this is going to bring about more breakthroughs when it comes to medical things. But yes, I do feel that another epidemic or pandemic could be on our horizons, not necessarily in the very near future. I'm looking more towards the year 2029, because when we enter into 2029, we're in that 4 vibration, the same vibration that we were in the year 2020. And numbers and astrology both can really help to point to specific timelines and, of course, to very big events that are going to take place. This is in the prophecies from Nostradamus to Edgar Casey and even in the book of Revelation. These are the times that we are currently in. And it may seem fearful to many, but we always have to hold in the light what the outcome is going to be in the end. This age where all humans come together in pure love and rebuild things to a level that is for the best of us. But first, we have to see the crash also of the oligarchs that are controlling everything, the globalists, the global elite, and those who really don't want us here. Literally, they don't want us here anymore. And we're going to rise up through the ashes. They think they're going to rise up, but we are going to be the ones that rise up to a whole new level that's going to be amazing. Some people awaken and some people are never going to awaken. That is a part of our very complex soul contracts of the things that we signed up for and agreed to in this lifetime. That could be perhaps why many people are going to exit in large amounts, or there may be a mass exodus, because they're not just meant to be here as a part of it. They haven't signed up for that. And some of those that are not awake are actually also assisting in our own awakening in a strange kind of way. They're still assisting us, even though they may not even be here for the new earth. Most of them will not. So therefore, they're not going to awake. There's always going to be that one part of people that just never awakens. It's the masses that awaken that are going to bring the change. Not only the masses of people that awaken, but the events that happen. People are going to catch on to the events that are happening and how they are very much orchestrated by the dark, evil globalists. So in this shift that's happening on our planet, this major shift and amazing things that have never happened on the earth before, all the current systems, including the financial systems, the medical systems, everything needs to collapse. That 9 vibration of 2025 is just going to help, and along with all these wild astrological alignments that we have happening, are going to ensure that these structures collapse. And one of the biggest structures is going to be, of course, the economy and the economic structures and new things going into place that are going to be for the better of humanity. We already see this happening. We see the markets going crazy this year, and it's all leading eventually to this digital currency system that they want to put into place. And we just need to hold in the light that the future systems are that benefit the good of all, and not something that just benefits the globalists or the global elite. We're going to see so many other structures collapsing. The medical field's going to collapse, but what goes in store afterwards is going to be quite amazing. We're going to see innovations when it comes to the medical community and through artificial intelligence, but also through all these amazing innovations that include sound healing, vibration, color, crystals, and all these amazing things that are going to bring healing to an entire level that we've never seen before. It's actually quite exciting, but again, it's just that bumpy road that we have to go down first to get to the smooth pavement. Our planet and humanity is at a monumental and a very pivotal point on the planet for everything to shift and change, including the whole evolution of humanity. Our bodies are going to change. As the earth changes and the plates shift and the poles shift energetically, that's intense on the human body. And not only humans, but all animals and creatures are going to evolve. Our DNA is going to shift and change. The light codes and other factors are going to bring back the missing chromosome within our DNA. That chromosome is where we get more wisdom, more knowledge. And these are the things that change everything in the future when it comes to our health breakthroughs, using a combination of technology. And as creepy as AI is actually going to be very helpful in the future of healing. But we're going to be using so many natural methods of healing in the future, and we're not going to necessarily need the same types of treatments or healing as we do now. Because in the future, when we evolve and our DNA shifts and evolves with the planet, things are going to be much different. Disease, say a few decades from now, won't be a concern anymore. And we will naturally take care of ourselves, and we will naturally work together where, in the, again, decades from now, maybe your grandkids and great-grandkids won't have to worry about struggling over diseases and illnesses like we are now. They'll use medications, but not like our medications, where people are dependent on it. There'll be very few people that will need medications, and there will be medications that are all made from natural, new discoveries made in places like the Amazon and even in the Congo and all over. Things that the medical community never really looked into. And what's going to happen is with the wisdom that's coming through to the younger generation and even some of the elders, we're going to get the information from spirit like, hey, this plant can help with prostate cancer, and this plant can help with ADHD, and that's how we get the information from spirit. That's how we know what certain herbs do now, like chamomile and such. It's because the indigenous natives communicated with the spirits of the plants, the trees, the animals, and they received that information. That's something that's been lost over the past hundreds of years. That information is about to come back, and it's going to be natural for us to all have the ability to know that, hey, this plant can do this, or this can do that. And then we're going to have so many people inventing things all at the same time, like free energy. So therefore, The globalist elite aren't going to be able to block it anymore because they have been for generations. Somebody invents a car that runs on water, and then all of a sudden everything disappears, including the person that invented the car made of water that runs on water. That's not going to happen anymore because so many people are going to come up with the same ideas or similar ideas across the globe all at one time that they're not going to be able to control it. And that's where it gets even more amazing. Free energy in the future, running things completely different. Our agriculture will be completely different. Everything literally will be completely different in a good way. Technology has become a way of controlling us, especially even the television. The violence that's put out on the television and all the negative things on television. Things on television today I would have never saw when I was a kid growing up on TV. People would have had a fit if that was shown on television. And that's where things have gone with technology. That's going to be something that people are going to wean away from, because there will be a point where there's a temporary period where they were disconnected from all that technology. Maybe say a period where there's days of no power, no energy, and people disconnect, and then the healing codes come in, and you're not going to want to necessarily go back and look at Facebook. All those specific platforms aren't going to be like they are in the future. It's not going to be like that at all. Even television in the future will be all educational programs showing the earth and showing all the breakthroughs on the earth and showing everything that happened with the earth shift, because they're going to want to remind the people of the future of what we screwed up in the past so that we don't do it again. So that's what they'll be showing on TV, not violence and horrific things like they show on television now. Technology is definitely much different, and it's more highly advanced, where it's just so natural in our environments, and it's not natural in a way that it's addicting and you're always looking at it. Oh, of course, Satan's working against our evolution for sure, 100%, but he ain't gonna win. No, he ain't gonna win at all. So we're going to see a lot happen, even coming in 2025, when it comes to sky events, things that are happening in the sky. This was in my past predictions, and I even talked about an invasion in our skies happening in late 2024, which we saw happen with the drone invasion and everything else. I see other invasions like that with drones and other activity, but I also see a huge amount of disclosure coming out to when it comes to all the different races of star people, galactic people, but also people, aliens, whatever you want to call them, that actually live right here on the planet Earth with us, that have been living with us for a very long time, interdimensional beings. So all this is part of the knowledge, part of the truth that's going to be revealed. But at the same time, there's these darker forces that want to stop that from happening. Definitely. So we can likely see events happening in the sky that would be quite shocking. Spirit also said a while back that don't trust everything that you're seeing in the sky, because some of it can actually be a manipulation, using certain technologies to trick people into something, big. Like the globalists allegedly have a big plan to hoax an alien invasion and basically bring everybody to the world together into their one world government. That is actually written in their plan book. You can look that up in their plan book. And then Spirit saying, don't believe everything in the sky, but there will be a lot of real things in the sky. I had visions recently of big spaceships over Italy, Israel, and many other big cities. So they're letting us know that they're here, the good guys. Because again, there's always good and bad. Just like there's good humans and bad humans. There's good gray aliens and bad gray aliens and all the different other species of interdimensional beings. So that's something that's definitely going to come to the forefront. But overall, again, looking at all the prophecy, it's the good that's going to win. The Hopi Native people have legends where they say during the last great flood, the Starry people came down and took the Hopi people off the planet Earth until the floodwaters receded. Then they brought them back down to the earth, dropped them off at the four corners here in west United States, and they spread out to rebuild the planet. And they believe in their prophecies that the star people are going to come again during the next great catastrophic earth shift and take them off the planet again. So it's interesting that it's very much in the prophecies about star people going back to the Hopi, and that goes back thousands of years ago. So part of it should be definitely exciting that we're going to receive this knowledge, and we're actually going to have this dialogue with different beings that will actually assist us in our evolution. The ones that want to sabotage our evolution, they're not going to succeed. So I would tell people not to even worry about that. The sun is extremely important for us to watch and keep our eyes on, including the moon cycles. The ancient people worship the sun and the moon. They tell us that the sun is everything. And I remember telling on my show saying that, about sun flares and how they affect the Earth's plates, and someone telling me, no, it does not. The sun affects everything. That is why we have Sunday, Day of the Sun, which is also the day we worship Jesus Christ, the Son of God, which is very interesting. But if we go back to the ancient time, the sun is where it's all at. Sun flares have everything to do with the earth shifts to earthquakes. And it was in 2023 where Spirit told us to watch the sun, that there would be a sun flare on a specific date followed by a major earthquake, which happened in Turkey soon after that sun flare, minutes after that sun flare, interesting enough. But there's many different sun flares also bring in the light codes that help shift our consciousness. And we should always watch the sun, because last year we had record-breaking borealis, the northern lights all over, which was in my predictions. We would see it in places that we would never see it before. We saw it right here in Arizona, which you never see it here. This year, as we get especially to the summer and fall months, you're going to see borealis again in places that you've never seen it before. And that is all a reflection of the sun's activity. The sun can show us what's coming. And if we see big X-class solar flares heading towards the Earth, that would be an important time again to meditate, to stay grounded, make sure you're hydrated, and make sure that you are, getting enough rest. Because these sun flares can sometimes knock us on our butt, have us feel tired, have us feel lazy, but they also can sometimes do the opposite and give us boosts of energy. But definitely watch the sun. Last Spirit told me was to watch the sun right before the equinox. So March 19th, March 20th, and then again during the month of July. In 2026, we step into the 1 year, new beginnings, new starts, new creations. So as crazy as things may appear, and they are happening all over the planet, crazy things, they are going to get crazier. But you have to make sure that you unplug from those energies. Unplug from the energies of those that are bringing you down. If someone's taking advantage of you, hurting your feelings, or making you angry, it's because we continue to allow it to happen. Unplug from it. Just say, I am unplugging from your energy. Thank you. It works for me every single time. The more you stay unplugged and focus on the kind of people that you want to be surrounded by, so that you attract those mutual vibrations into your life, this will help you with your own personal ascension. If you're surrounded by people that are pulling you down and you're allowing it to continuously happen, it's going to affect your ascension. It's going to pull you back from amazing opportunities in your future. So again, unplug from those energy, stay focused on what you want instead of what you don't want, because the universe is listening, and stay focused on the kind of people you want to be surrounded by, with the willingness of letting go of anybody outside that window. And you will notice people drop out of your life quickly, but you'll also notice amazing new people coming into your life that again will aid you in your vibration and your ascension when we have these ascension energies and tidal waves of energies flowing in throughout 2025 and beyond.